The eighth and final step in Erikson's theory is ego integrity versus despair, and this starts to happen around late adulthood up until death. And during this stage, the older adult reflects on the past, and if that reflection reveals, a well spent life that was full of laughter and love and, um, full generativity and being able to give back to the community. If it was full of all those beautiful things, there's a sense of self-acceptance and satisfaction, which is that ego integrity. But if not, if they experience, deep regret or dissatisfaction about their life, maybe they regret some things that they said or they did or anything like that, that causes the despair. In this specific stage, I really have a good pair to actually look at and compare and look at what I want my late adulthood to look like, and that's my grandparents on my mother's side. Sadly, my dad's side, my grandparents on my father's side, they passed away when I was a little bit younger, so I wasn't really old enough to fully grasp any life lessons from them, except that they were just great grandparents. But my grandparents on my mother's side, my grandma Kathy and my poppy, they're probably my favorite people ever. I love my grandparents with every bit of me. They were my support system through my family's divorce, through all of my hard times. My grandma has walked me through different stages of my depression and my anxiety, and really have been there. They both have been there through the thickest and the thinnest of times. And I was just really, really blessed to have a pair of just two people who are so positive and so giving and so loving and just so pure. Even though my parents, they were a little crazy and they did some things, that aren't completely right morally, but no matter what has ever happened between me and my parents or me and friends, my grandparents have always been there. And this is probably my favorite theory to discuss, especially my favorite stage, because they're just my favorite people, and I love to be able to look up to someone who has spent their time well, investing money and really making sure that their future was taken care of, and being smart monetarily and physically. My grandma, she's in her 70s now, and she's doing headstands even though she's had multiple surgeries and has almost, we call it a bionic body, because she's got knee replacements and shoulder replacements and all of those crazy things. But she's active, and they go on trips in their retirement after working for the same company together for over 30 years together. So it's really interesting to see how they are the true retirement love story. They really did succeed in what everybody wants. And my grandma, she's very open-minded, and she's not stuck in a sense of, I'm back in my day. She's not that kind of grandma. My grandma's actually pretty cool. She's actually pretty cooler than I am, I'd say. My poppy is too. He's probably the goofiest person I've ever met. But they've just always been there for me, and they've really shown me that, things happen in life, and you might not like how they go, but you got to push forward. You have to keep moving, because if you don't, you'll regret everything you do, and you'll miss out on the fun stuff that goes on in life. And I think that's one of the best things that I've been able to acquire during my life, and to hopefully take that through my stages up until the stage 8 according to Erikson's theory, that I can really enjoy their time together with them, and I can really enjoy my time with my grandkids if I'm to have those. It's a beautiful thing to be able to see what the possibility is, and have such an idealistic, couple to look up to have my back and to be there and love me for who I am. And that's really a really cherishing thing, and a really beautiful thing to see, is that people like their age, which you don't see sometimes, is they're really open-minded and they love everyone. It's a beautiful thing to see that my grandparents, like I said, are just the picture perfect grandparents. They're just purely amazing, and I'm just truly blessed to have someone like that in my life that looks to me and just sees pure bliss and beauty and doesn't see the wrong in me. Even if I have done wrong, they still believe that I'm just the best person ever. So I'm just really lucky, and my stepsister, for her to be able to experience their love too now is just even better. So they're just the best, and I haven't seen any despair. I mean, of course, my grandparents probably do have their ideas that they regret, or the times that they wish they would have done this or that, but they've really not shown it. They were going around the world and seeing the world and doing all these absolutely crazy things that I wish I could do, like going to the Bermuda Triangle, and they've traveled the coast of France or the coast of Italy. It's just really cool that they've totally changed their life around and just truly are enjoying the last bit of time they have with us and with me. And it's really sad to think about, but it's really nice to see that they're not letting anything get them down, and they're just really taking life by the horns and taking it off into the sunset. And I think that's something everybody should see and should strive for.